Hello and welcome to this video. Oh, what a cute cat. Anyways, so yeah, someone recently said that oh, your videos, they don't have a lot of views, they should have way more views. Well, let me tell you something. As a general rule, yeah, the better the video, the prettier the face, which is trying to explain you something about FX, there's a chance that the content is completely incorrect. So yeah, I mean, probably it's true. I should do more, let's say, nice videos like this one here, because I also learned that people like to have some kind of interpersonal context as well. Obviously my work is really focused on the content, on the market structure. It's a bit hardcore. Most videos are very technical, so maybe it's a good idea to also do nicer 4K videos like this one here, where I talk about some topics face to face. So maybe I make this a little series, the coffee break talk in the garden series or something. Okay, right, so there are a few topics I just would like to briefly discuss. So the people who are familiar with my work, they know that over quite a long time period now, I've done one channel with live trade videos. I've done one channel with educational videos explaining the market causality, and all the market manipulation conducted by the smart money, how that works, and I went quite into detail. I showed more complex concepts, and I tried to explain all that in a more intuitive manner. So in general, experienced traders know that there's something like stop hunting going on. Almost nobody knew about position hunting, which I've also exposed, and of course all the principles I've defined, which basically explain how the smart money algorithms operate. And then of course I have done the threads where I posted daily screenshots, market overviews and so on. And there's more to come from my side as well. So stay tuned, especially in the next weeks. I've prepared some nice things which I will present very soon. I needed some time to really finalize those projects, but I'm sure you're gonna like them. Okay, so what is my work all about? Well, in a nutshell, I'm the market maker's worst nightmare. Yeah, not only have I developed all that content, but I also published a lot of it. I demonstrated a lot of how the market structure functions day by day, and as you can see, it explains why FX is how it is, why the price of euro dollar, or pound dollar, dollar yen, or Australian dollar, or Kiwi dollar, or dollar CAD, etc., why the price goes up or down. It's not about supply and demand. It's about making sure that the dumb money traders on the buy side basically lose as groups, no matter whether these are long or short, or what kind of strategies they employ. Okay, so I always try to be very honest, because the truth is, when you look at the FX industry, most of the players, they have something to sell to you, like a product, whether it's an indicator or signal, or service, or whether it's brokers trying to get you to open accounts and earn commissions on your trading activities. So, whether it's explicit or implicit, the industry tries to give you that impression that, there's an easy way to be successful in FX, that there's an indicator which shows you when to buy, when to sell. Obviously, all that is completely untrue. Yeah, the truth is, first of all, there is no shortcut. Yeah, if you're serious about FX, if you really want to become a professional trader, you need to put in the hours. And for most people, we're talking about a preparation period of around 4 to 7, 8 years. To think about that, this will be the time you will need in order to become good at this complex game. It looks simple, it looks like there's only a two-dimensional chart, can only go up, down or flat, but the truth is that it's very, very multi-layered. Oh, there's my friend again. Hello. Cute. What a cutie. Sorry for this interruption. Hello. Hello, baby. Come. The truth is that it is a complex game. Your chances of success are extremely low, especially when you start out, and the only way is to really put in the hours. So don't forget that. Even if you have some kind of access to the market causality, it is still more complex. You cannot just trade against the green bars or just trade towards a stop accumulation. It's a bit more complex, but it's no rocket science neither. You see, like we're not talking about like engineering a car engine or something like that. So it's also important to understand. So it's doable, but you will only succeed if you really invest the time and if you are committed. That's a very big point, because as I said before, the industry tries to draw this picture that, you sit at home in your comfort zone and basically you just push a few buttons, that's it. That's not how it works. So you need to be prepared at all kinds of levels, So it goes far beyond entries and exits as well. You need to have a risk management plan. You need to have a complete structure and plan in place, which allows you to execute your strategies in an efficient manner. Okay? So please respect the game. I've always said it's not an easy game. The odds are completely against you. Most likely you will fail. And don't get me wrong, there's another distinct feature about FX trading. Not only will you need that time to learn and to develop your skills, but along the way you will lose money. So it's not that you just make a bit of money or you make no money. It's a particular feature about FX trading that if you start to trade live without being prepared, you will actually lose that kind of money you are putting down. So please be aware of that. Okay. You can solve yourself a lot of headache if you just use a bit of common sense. These days, the game is completely dominated by algorithms. The human traders are only a minority. The big players are algorithmic market makers. Okay, and of course, the game is dominated by market manipulation. It's not that sometimes it's a bit of a stop run. No, it's all, and I've shown, demonstrated, and proven that so many times. It's all about making sure that the dumb money as a group, as a collective, ends up in loss, okay? And that as a group, they do not make money. That's basically why an FX price goes up or down. There is some kind of economic plausibility that I try to maintain, but it's not the driving factor, okay? So you can easily see all that yourself if you would do a long-term analysis, if you would take the data and you would compare how the price reacted to, let's say, US unemployment numbers over a 10-year period. You will see that there's no real consistency, that any macroeconomic rules or laws are completely disrespected. And the reason for that is the market manipulation, you see? So forget about all the stuff you find out there. It's not about technical, it's not about fundamentals. It's about market structure. It's about understanding the market manipulation that's going on in the biggest financial market of this world. And that's where basically I've contributed very unique content. You can't find any similar, remotely similar content out there. And look, I don't say that to boost my ego. I don't need that, believe me. I say that to make you understand how unique the content is I'm putting out there. I guess there is a very low number of traders around the world who has maybe a similar setup like I do, but they would never ever think about sharing that knowledge and these concepts in any way. But I'm doing that, so be happy about it, appreciate it, try to support my mission here, okay? I've delivered a lot, and not since yesterday. and I'm continuing on this path. Many people have sent me nice thank you messages and said that they're impressed that I'm so persistent. But you know, persistence is the only thing which will help you. And you know, if you want to be successful in FX, that's the minimum you need. If you don't have any persistence, you will just throw in the towel and, you know, give up along the way, realizing how complex it is. Another thing I always recommend is use tools to test strategies. Yeah, so it's not enough to just visually check some signals by scrolling back a few days. You need to properly test a strategy, because even if it looks good in visual terms, often it's not consistent. Most strategies will completely fail, and if you have a proper setup in terms of strategy testing, you will see that yourself. You use tick data and variable spreads and slippage and commissions, and then you run the strategy over 5-6 years, you will quickly see that in 95% of cases it will completely die. Okay? These are the realities. I'm trying to basically expose those realities on different levels to give you a more truthful, realistic impression about FX. And this is basically something which is very rare, because out there people want to, you know, lure you into like having wrong beliefs about FX trading. They come with weird arguments to say, oh, it's a cheap market to trade, it's the most liquid, it's open 24/7. You know, they try to get you to buy into the story. But if you even remotely studied my work about the market causality, it's not difficult to understand that all this is very misleading. Yeah, I mean, you need to understand things like the empty counter run principle, pre-stop run counter move principle. You need to understand the timing range principle. You need to understand the plausibility, the smart money boldness. All these topics which I have covered in the educational videos on the educational channel. You need to have an idea about these things. Otherwise, you know, you will eventually fall victim to the market manipulation games of the smart money entities. That's what they want. You know, they want you to open an account, put down some money and trade, because the broker will earn commissions and swaps and spreads, and the smart money will earn, you know, everything you lose, you see. So it's a big dumb money destruction machine, which leads to a shift from money, let's say, to the upper part of the pyramid. So the rich get richer, the poorer get poorer, and be aware that you don't fall into this trap. Okay? Respect the game, put in the hours, prepare yourself. As I always say, don't show up with a knife to a gunfight. Okay? Do your homework before you ever risk real money. Otherwise, you know, you're not doing anything serious, and you know, you just do stuff to maybe tell a nice cocktail party story. But you know, if you're actually serious about the game, then you study what other people have shown, you study the realities I've exposed, you take this as a given and you work from there. And thanks God I was able to help many people, and I'm happy that I had the chance to do that. I helped many people, I helped them for free, and there's more to come from my side. I created something quite cool. Let's see how this works. I will maybe do a separate video about this. Anyways, so yeah, I think these are some things which came to my mind during today's coffee break. So that's the first garden video, and I hope you like it. And don't worry, you know, eventually this channel will become more popular, and at the end of the day, you know, it's also not what this is about. At the end of the day, you know, it will always be like that. The majority will not really, you know, sit down and, you know, walk the walk, but we rather talk the talk. You see, in a minority who is persistent and who takes this game seriously, will eventually, you know, prevail. I don't think that this as such will significantly change, because let's be honest, in other areas it's the same thing. Okay, whether you look at athletes or you look at, you know, science, all those demanding fields, you know, they have similar characteristics. You see, there's a small minority of people who have understood and explained some realities and valuable knowledge, and then there's a big majority who you know, is not that committed, let's say, and therefore will not achieve what this small dedicated minority achieved. Anyways, I wish you all the best, guys and girls, and stay tuned. Bye.